All right, everyone, get ready because today we're going to be diving deep into the movie that made everybody afraid to go in the water,
Oh, yeah.
Jaws.
Right.
It's been almost 50 years since this iconic thriller first came out.
I know.
And you know what?
What?
It still have bite.
It really does.
To help us unpack all the brilliance and maybe a few flaws of this film, I have got a true film expert with me today.
Oh, it's a pleasure to be here. Jaws is one of those films that, you can watch it again and again
Absolutely.
and still find something new to, appreciate about it.
Totally.
From the chilling suspense to the iconic characters.
Yeah.
It's a masterclass in filmmaking.
You know what always gets me is how Spielberg builds this idyllic summer town,
Right.
Amity,
Mm-hmm.
and then he just throws this terrifying shark in there.
Yeah.
The contrast is just incredible.
Yeah.
You go from sun-drenched beaches and kids playing in the waves to,
Exactly.
you
It's terrifying.
that's Spielberg's genius, isn't it?
It is.
He
Yeah.
lulls you into this false sense of security
Totally.
with those picturesque scenes of Amity, and then bam, that opening scene with Chrissy Watkins swimming at night.
Oh, yeah.
The way the camera moves slowly through the water,
Uh-huh.
those underwater shots,
Yeah.
and that score
Oh, my gosh.
is pure terror.
Yes.
And we haven't even seen the shark yet.
I know, and that score is so iconic.
Oh, yeah.
You hear those two notes and you know exactly what's coming. That's how good it is.
I know. And the way he uses those POV shots from the shark's perspective.
Yes.
I swear every time I watch that scene,
Yeah.
I feel like I'm being stalked.
Oh, totally.
It's brilliant.
It's pure brilliance.
Speaking of brilliance,
Yes.
let's talk about the characters.
Oh, yes.
We got Chief Brody, our everyman hero,
Right.
who's afraid of water.
Huh?
Talk about irony.
They know.
Then there's Matt Hooper,
Yes.
the young, eager oceanographer,
Yeah.
who's a walking shark encyclopedia.
Yeah. He knows everything.
And, of course, we can't forget Sam Quint,
Oh, Quint.
the grizzled, salty shark hunter,
That's right.
with a score to settle.
Yeah.
Each character is so distinct.
They really are.
Brody, I mean, come on, who hasn't felt like Brody at some point in his life?
Oh, I know.
That feeling of being in over your head,
Yes.
literally and figuratively.
Literally and figuratively. That's right.
Roy Scheider was perfect casting.
Oh, he was so good.
He brought such, a vulnerability,
Yeah.
but also this grit to the role.
You can't help but root for Brody.
Yeah.
He's the relatable one.
He is.
The guy who just wants to protect his family
Yeah.
and his town.
His town, yeah.
And Richard Dreyfuss as Hooper,
oh, yeah.
he perfectly captures that youthful enthusiasm
Yes.
mixed with this genuine scientific curiosity.
Yeah, I think so too.
He's so good.
And then there's Robert Shaw as Quint.
Oh,
Talk about scene stealer.
Scene stealer.
Larger than life.
Right.
Almost mythical.
Yes.
Every line he says is gold.
It's true.
The Indianapolis speech.
Oh my God. I'm
Chills. It's so good.
Spine chilling.
That speech is like a masterclass in storytelling.
It is.
In just a few minutes, we understand Quint's depth,
Yeah.
his trauma,
Yeah.
his obsession with sharks.
Just obsession. Oh,
It's like a Greek tragedy unfolding on a fishing boat.
I know.
It's so good.
Quint definitely adds an element of unpredictability to the film.
He does.
You never know what he's going to do next,
Like.
which is part of what makes Jaws so suspenseful.
Totally.
But it's not just the characters.
Yeah.
The whole film is designed to keep us on the edge of our seats.
Absolutely. I mean, think about it.
Yeah.
For a good chunk of the film,
Yeah.
we barely even see the shark.
I know.
Spielberg understands that what you don't see can be way scarier
Oh, for sure.
than a full-on monster reveal.
So true.
Leaving it to your imagination.
It's all about the anticipation.
Yes.
The buildup.
Yes.
We hear the music.
We see the ripples in the water.
Yeah.
We get glimpses of its teeth.
Right.
And that's enough to send chills down your spine.
Oh, it is.
It really is.
It's brilliant.
It's a testament to the power of sound design
Oh, for sure.
and Spielberg's masterful direction.
It really is.
Even something as simple as a buoy, bobbing ominously,
Right.
becomes scary in this film.
Yes, it does.
There's also this underlying tension between Hooper's scientific approach
Yeah.
and Quint's more,
Yeah.
well, let's just say,
Visceral.
visceral.
Yeah.
Their dynamic adds another layer of conflict
Yes.
to the film.
Totally.
It's almost like this
Yeah.
microcosm of the larger theme of man versus nature.
Yes.
Hooper represents knowledge and reason, trying to understand the shark,
Right.
while Quint embodies our instinct to just fight back,
Yeah.
conquer the unknown,
Uh-huh.
even if it consumes him.
Yes. And he's willing to die
Oh, yeah.
to get that shark,
Yeah.
like Ahab.
And caught in the middle is Brody,
Brody.
trying to balance those two.
Right.
He sees the need for both the science and the action.
Yeah.
It's a fascinating dynamic,
It is.
and one that keeps this film from being just another monster movie.
Exactly. And I think that's one of the reasons why Jaws has endured for so long.
Terribly.
Because it's got those classic thrills, but it also touches on these deeper themes about fear, human nature, and our relationship with the natural world.
Yeah, I totally agree.
It's just so much more
Yes, it is so much more
than just a monster movie.
than just a monster movie.
But before we dive too deep into those themes,
Okay.
let's take a quick break.
That sounds good.
When we come back, we'll unpack some of the most memorable scenes
Yes.
and talk about Jaws' impact on pop culture.
Ooh, I like it.
All right, stick with us.
Okay.
We'll be right back.
All right. Okay, we are back and ready to dive deeper into Jaws.
All right.
We were talking about the film's depth, how it goes beyond being just a monster movie.
Yes, it's those layers that make it so fascinating. I mean, think about that scene where Hooper and Brody examine the contents of the tiger shark's stomach.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
Oh, that's a rough one.
it's gruesome.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
But it also highlights their determination to uncover the truth
Yes.
about this creature.
It's a little stomach churning.
It is.
Even for a horror fan like myself.
Right.
But you are right. It shows how far they're willing to go
Yeah.
to get answers, even if it means bending the rules a little bit.
Yeah.
And speaking of memorable scenes,
Yes.
we have to talk about
We do.
Hooper's underwater encounter
Oh, yes.
with the shark.
That cage scene.
The cage scene.
One of the most suspenseful moments
Yes.
in cinematic history.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, it's so good.
The murky water.
Yes.
The limited visibility.
Uh-huh.
The creaking of the cage.
The sounds, Spielberg really puts us in Hooper's flippers.
You got it.
And then that shot of the shark's eye peering in, pure nightmare fuel.
I know, right? You can practically feel the pressure building as the shark circles the cage.
Oh, I know.
It's claustrophobic.
Yeah.
It's terrifying. And it's just brilliantly executed.
Yes.
And Hooper's reaction, I mean, you see the fear in his eyes.
Uh-huh.
But there's also this sense of awe.
Yes.
This fascination with the creature.
Yeah. He's like, it's a real...
He wants to see it.
Yeah.
He wants to understand it.
It's a complex...
He's a scientist.
Yeah, it's a complex mix of emotions that Richard Dreyfuss portrays perfectly.
Oh, he's so good.
He really does.
He's so good in that role.
It's that complexity that makes these characters so compelling.
Yes.
They're not just cardboard cutouts. They're flawed.
Yeah.
They make mistakes.
Uh-huh.
But they also have these moments of courage and resilience.
Totally.
Yeah, and let's be honest. Part of what makes Jaws so effective is the music.
Oh, the music.
John Williams' score is iconic.
It's so iconic.
Those two notes.
Da-dum, da-dum. They send shivers down your spine every time.
Every time.
It's amazing how such simple notes
Right.
can evoke such primal fear.
Oh, yeah.
It's like a heartbeat, slowly building, getting faster until it's like...
It's like your own heartbeat is
Yeah.
syncing up with
Yeah.
the music, and you're just like, oh, my gosh.
It's just brilliant.
John Williams' score is as much a character in this film as Brody Hooper or Quint.
I agree.
It really is.
And then there's the final showdown
Oh, yeah.
on the Orca.
Yeah.
The tension is so palpable as that boat starts to sink.
Mm-hmm.
And Quint... Well, let's just say he goes out with a bang.
He does. He goes out with a bang.
He does.
That final confrontation is a whirlwind of action and emotion.
Yeah.
Quint's demise is both tragic and inevitable.
Yeah.
You sense that he's almost welcomed it.
Yeah.
Like he's embraced his fate.
Yeah, it was like he was waiting for it.
Yes, and Brody facing his fears head on. Yeah. Using whatever he can to fight back. Yeah. It's a true David versus Goliath moment.
I love that Brody doesn't give up.
Yeah.
Even when all hope seems lost.
Right.
He finds a way using his wits and a little bit of luck.
Yeah.
And that final shot of him and Hooper paddling back to shore, that's a moment of relief.
Yeah.
Of triumph over adversity.
It's a powerful image, isn't it?
It is.
Two men exhausted but alive.
Yes.
Returning to the world they almost lost.
Yeah.
It speaks to the resilience of the human spirit.
Yes.
Our ability to overcome even the most terrifying challenges.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
It's so good.
But let's not forget, Jaws isn't just about surviving a shark attack.
Right.
It's also a commentary on human nature. on our sometimes reckless ambition.
Yes.
And our tendency to ignore warnings. The mayor, for example,
Oh, the mayor.
puts profits ahead of people's safety.
Absolutely. He's a representation of those who prioritize short-term gains over long-term consequences. And isn't that something we still see today?
Oh, yeah.
Like, in the way we treat the environment and how we respond to crises.
Totally.
Jaws holds up a mirror to society.
Yes.
Asking us to examine our own choices.
Yeah, I think that's why this movie is so resonates on so many levels.
Yes.
It's thrilling. It's terrifying.
Yeah.
But it also makes you think.
Right.
But it also has a lighter side.
It does.
Some of those scenes between the three main characters are genuinely funny.
Yeah.
Like when they're comparing scars on the orca.
Oh, that scene is classic.
I love that scene.
It's a moment of male bonding, of shared experience that breaks the tension and allows us to connect with these characters on a more human level.
Totally.
It's a reminder that even in the face of danger, there's still room for humor and camaraderie.
Yeah, you can't talk about Jaws without mentioning its cultural impact.
Oh, yeah.
It was a phenomenon.
It was huge.
It changed how people viewed sharks, for better or worse.
Right.
And it pretty much invented the summer blockbuster.
It did. Jaws was a game changer for Hollywood.
Yeah.
It proved that a film could be both a critical and commercial success, and it paved the way for the big budget special effects driven movies that we see today.
Yeah, we see today. And let's be honest.
Okay.
It also gave us some of the most quotable lines in movie history.
It's so quotable.
You're going to need a bigger boat?
Oh, yeah.
Smile, you son of a...
Yeah. Come on. Jaws is like embedded in our pop culture DNA.
Oh, yeah.
You see references to it everywhere.
Yes, you do.
From like parodies to merchandise to that iconic theme music.
Yeah.
It's impossible to escape its influence.
Right.
And you know what? And it still holds up. The special effects, considering they were groundbreaking for their time, they still work.
Right.
The story is timeless.
And the characters, well, they're unforgettable.
They are?
But before we wrap up our deep dive, there's one more aspect we need to explore.
Okay.
Jaws' legacy.
Oh, yes.
How has this film influenced filmmakers, shaped our view of sharks, and continued to captivate audiences nearly 50 years later?
That's a great question.
We will tackle that in our final segment.
Okay.
So stay tuned. All right. We are back for the final act of our Jaws deep dive.
Yes.
We have covered the thrills, the chills, and the cultural impact. But now it is time to talk about the film's lasting legacy.
And what a legacy it is.
Yeah.
Jaws didn't just entertain, it changed the way we view sharks' summer movies and even filmmaking itself.
Right. I mean, think about it before Jaws.
Yeah.
Sharks weren't exactly box office gold.
Right.
They were just these mysterious creatures lurking in the depths.
Right.
But Spielberg turned them into a cinematic icon, for better or worse.
It's true. Unfortunately, Jaws did fuel some negative perceptions about sharks, portraying them as these mindless killing machines.
Right.
But on the flip side, it also sparked a fascination with these creatures, leading to increased interest in marine biology and conservation efforts.
It's like this double-edged sword, right?
It is.
Fear and fascination.
Yeah.
And that's something Spielberg himself has acknowledged.
Right.
He's even spoken about his regrets over any negative impact the film might have had on shark populations.
It's a testament to his character that he recognizes the film's unintended consequences.
Yeah.
And it speaks to the power of storytelling, how a film can influence our perceptions of the world around us.
Totally. And speaking of influence, let's talk about Jaws' impact on filmmaking.
Oh, yeah.
This movie was like a total game changer for summer blockbusters.
Absolutely. It was one of the first films to use wide release tactics, opening on hundreds of screens simultaneously.
Yeah.
This created a sense of event cinema, a must-see phenomenon that drew audiences in droves.
I know, and it set the stage for the mega franchise films we see today.
Totally.
I mean, Marvel Universe, Star Wars, all those huge summer releases owe a debt to Jaws.
It's fascinating to see how Spielberg's techniques from the suspense building to the character development have been echoed in countless films since then.
Totally.
He set a new standard for what a blockbuster could be.
Yeah, and it wasn't just the storytelling. Jaws also pushed the boundaries of special effects.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, remember, this was 1975.
Right.
CGI was still a distant dream.
Like a fantasy.
So Spielberg opted for a mechanical shark nicknamed Bruce.
And that decision, while fraught with challenges, ultimately added to the film's realism.
Yeah.
Those glimpses of the shark, those moments where you can almost see the mechanics at work, they create this unnerving sense of tangibility.
I know. It's like those imperfections make the shark feel even more real, more threatening.
Right.
It's a reminder that sometimes limitations can breed creativity.
That's a great point. And it speaks to Spielberg's genius as a filmmaker.
Yeah.
He turned those limitations into strengths, building suspense through suggestion, and leaving much of the shark's true form to our imaginations.
And that's something that holds up even today.
Totally.
Yes, the special effects might seem a bit dated by modern standards.
Yeah.
But the power of the story, the characters, and the overall filmmaking still resonate.
Exactly. Jaws is a testament to the fact that great storytelling is timeless.
Yes.
It doesn't rely on flashy effects or gimmicks. It connects with us on a primal level, tapping into our deepest fears and reminding us of the awe-inspiring power of nature.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Jaws is more than just a movie.
It's an experience.
It's a cultural touchstone, a masterpiece of suspense, and a reminder that even nearly 50 years later, a good story well told can still keep us out of the water.
And on that note, we are wrapping up our deep dive into Jaws. We hope you enjoy this exploration of a true cinematic icon. And remember, if you like what you heard, please like, comment, and subscribe for more deep dives into the world of movies. Until next time, keep watching.